is just fantastic.
Hi, hope you're well today. Today we're going to be taking a look at a new video uploaded, first video uploaded to this channel, by Frogan. A response to Ethan Klein. 11,000 downvotes. Top comment, a quote from her video, Ian approached his content cop with empathy. 9 subsequent points debunk that. Empathy, real empathy, is not meant to be selective, but humanity's a judgy species and Ian, iDubbbz, has been well and truly cucked. Imagine my shock. Since this is the first upload by Frogan to YouTube, what with them being a rising star, 2-time rising star, the 2-time, one might say, on Twitch, this should be interesting. Oh, and before we start, TCG, trading card game, lolcow ones, I have a card coming out soon. In the pinned comment is a link to the page if you'd like to support this channel, because there's a discount code as well. Use it, and, well, I benefit from it. And I'm really looking forward to some of these cards coming out. I have seen my card, I can't show it just yet, but hopefully, in the not-so-distant future, in a World-related set, I will feature, and any support would be appreciated. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Frogan, and this is the first time I'm ever making a solo YouTube video about everything that has happened the last year and a half.
Oh dear God, is this how lolcows begin now? Let's all agree, Frogan is definitely going to become a lolcow within the next 5 years. Cemented, legacy assured. Frogan is that. Why? Because you're a Hassan orbiter, and when his hairline is fully receded and his channel's down the drain, he'll be there as well.
I address everything on my podcast, ARABS, which you can find the link below, but today it's just going to be you and I.
Why am I not surprised you would have a podcast called ARABS? That feels a bit on the nose, considering your origins. But okay, not my place to judge. Everyone has a podcast, I have one too. But I at least stayed true to what I love and went with Not Worth a Cork, and it's entirely whiskey based. Although we did do a rum one recently. I'll link the channel in the pinned comment if you're interested. You should all go follow, I make shorts.
I think the content cop was great.
The like to dislike and court of public opinion would beg to differ with that statement. But it's okay, you're entitled to an opinion even if it is the incorrect one.
You know, I feel like Ian approached it in a way that nobody else does. He approached it with empathy, and, you know, it was supposed to make people feel bad for Ethan.
That's funny because I watched all 1 hour of it, and that was not the takeaway message. The takeaway message was, Ethan, you're a shit person. If anyone's going to feel sorry for you, it's condescending. It's patronizing. There's no sincerity to be found. You'd know this because you did that rather pathetic L dance that you failed at. Compared to everyone else, you don't have the mobility, it would seem. I wonder why that is. The big takeaway not only is to take a dump on Ethan, but was to make it seem like Hassan, yourself, and your orbiter friends are all in the right, when you're all fundamentally not.
One of the main things, especially as content creators, people tend to dehumanize us and forget that we're living normal people just like you.
If you want to be unnecessarily pedantic and say we are all living people, sure, but don't try and pretend you have feelings, because you don't. With the stuff you've said, there's no version of it where I can believe you're anything but a low-functioning psychopath. You have to be, for some of the rather interesting takes you've had in the short time you've been here as a rising star that has still not risen.
So obviously, with so much pressure on the internet, both on myself, and I'm sure Ethan can relate to this too, it's f***ing hell. It's hard to manage, it's hard to deal with.
Well then, thankfully I'm here to help you, Frogan. The mighty, mighty Frogan. This is what you do if you want to reduce the stress placed upon you. And no, I'm not about to do an ad for cortisol levels. What you do is stop writing checks with your mouth that come from a place of ill-thought-out reasoning, like your veteran's comment. You've claimed that was a slip-up, by the way. No, it bloody well wasn't. If it was a slip, it was Freudian, and it was definitely real, and you meant every last word of it. Don't write checks with your mouth unless you are ready to take the receipt that comes with it. The receipt that comes with it is you and the rest of your extremist leftist buddies, right? The progressive left, the tolerant left, need to shut your mouths, need to introspect and consider what you've said is vastly worse than anything else being currently spoken of on the internet. You are ideologues, but you are unprincipled ideologues.
So I feel like Ian approached it in a way that was more so holding a friend accountable and in a softer way and wanted to generate empathy for Ethan. Other people don't do that.
Two things. Firstly, was that what the whole Wake Up Ethan thing was at the end for? Some kind of Matrix-related commentary. The whole video was insulting Ethan from the offset. There were mistakes in this video that looked like they were blatantly setting up a level of irony with Nazi symbology. It was intentionally designed to be offensive. That's what Content Cop was meant to be. Also, in the background you have a neon sign. Is that meant to be the purple monster thing from McDonald's?
And I've even said this before. I feel like we need to stick to the basics as to why Ethan Klein deserves to be criticized, and that is for being pro-Israel and trying to deplatform pro-Palestinian content creators.
Of course he's pro-Israel. The man is Jewish. Idiot. He will back his country. He will back his people. You say that's what the main issue is and why the criticism comes about. Then why all the personal attacks? Why the CPS call? Why are people on your side of this so willing to employ such bad tactics on Ethan? I'm not going to defend Ethan because Ethan can defend himself. I'm going to state the bloody obvious and say how absolutely pointless your position is. And it's not the real reason why you think Ethan deserves to be criticised. It's because he's anti-Hamas. And you're apparently pro-Hamas. Based on what you've said in the past, I'm inclined to believe there's some truth to that. Hi, Bingo. You okay? Cool. I'm inclined to believe that.
I think it's insane to involve his children and anybody else that really doesn't deserve the criticism. I think Gila deserves the criticism as well, too, because she says some bad, crazy things on the podcast as well.
Well, then surely Gila deserves her own content cop, right? Try not to forget here, a lot of the assertions espoused by people you agree with come from no basis of reasoning or verifiable fact. Everyone says dumb crap on podcasts. You are no exception with your race tier list. Don't try me with this. You don't have a leg to stand on, although I'm not inclined to believe you do much standing anyway. You and the rest of the Orbiter mob, the Peanut Gallery, just come across most of the time based on how you argue as distinctly anti-Jewish, just cause Jewish. Which is why Hassan's taken a bit more crap of late for that sword dubbed the Nazi sword that featured in the Content Cop as well. You cannot say these were accidental, by the way, because these videos are typically meticulously put together. If there's a subliminal message, it's there on purpose. It's there on purpose to drive home a point. And you desperately want Ethan and Gila to be anti-Israel in this. It's not going to happen. So your criticism is basically just you hurling all the bad stuff you can hurl at them, saying the dumb crap you want to say at them, because you know that the recourse will be they're just going to respond to you, and they're going to defend their people. They're going to defend themselves as well. If it goes too close to defamation, they will push that button as well, and you've got no hope against that.
And I've said this, and I'll say it again. If you're spewing pro-Israel propaganda, I'm going to call you out about it.
You do realise, based on what you've just said, that you are now, because you're just willing to believe anything from Israel is propaganda, you, based on your own comments, so I don't have to prove this, are pro-Hamas, right? I firmly believe in Palestine's right to exist, 100%. I also believe Hamas needs to be wiped off the face of the earth. Why? Because they've done enough damage to the Palestinian people that voted for them after being bullied into voting for them. Palestine at one point had a chance to become a utopia. Hamas ensured that Palestine would be set back decades. Is that propaganda, by the way? Because from what I've heard from many officials, that is what could have happened had Palestine not given Hamas that chance.
I received a text asking to say something nice about Ethan, and to be honest, I thought about it long and hard because I was like, this man does not deserve anything nice from me. But I said, you know what? I'm going to do it. Maybe it'll give me some closure. So I wrote a letter to Ethan and I read it off, and iDubbbz put it in the video. And this was Ethan's reaction to the video.
Just before that, I want to highlight something here. And it's the phenomenal amount of effort Frogan puts into Frogan's face for this next clip. So the version we're getting in the video and then the version in the content cop. There are two... this is Foodie Beauty territory of like catfishing face, right? That's what this is. And it tickled me to no end.
I bet you would.
I will be reading my letter off because I don't want to sound robotic. H3 used to be the sports figure that I used to watch. I hope that one day gets back to what I remember. You were one of the inspirations for me to start creating content, so all this has stunk. I hope you really hear this, and I wish you the best.
Listen, Thank you.
Frogan, she's so dumb that you almost can't be even mad at her.
She did wish us the best in the end. It almost felt like the nicest one of them all.
I think she was the only one being genuine,
Yeah.
actually. So I don't want to, whatever, just Frogan, just chill, okay? Just stop being an idiot and I'll stop talking about you. It's really simple math.
Let's ignore the fact you made your eyes look remarkably Oriental Asian and focus on the fact that you said something nice. And Ethan's response is, I kind of pity you because you are quite clearly stupid. And I agree with this. It's why I've never seen you do much in the way of debate. I don't think you could actually manage it with anyone. I think Ethan would wipe the floor with you, and I think any commentary channel that's given you 5 minutes of their time, so me, would destroy you as well. You're ill-informed on many issues. You think yourself an authority on, for example, the Middle East because of your faith. You're American. Don't try us. Your interpretation of faith is entirely skewed on the privileges you have, as opposed to the many privileges that do not exist, along with human rights, in an area of the world you can barely comprehend. You are out of touch with reality. So I've no doubt in my mind you see their response as condescending because they don't consider you a threat. They consider you stupid, which I agree with. You're not a threat. But let's skip to the part where you respond to that.
She's also by far the smallest creator of the bunch.
Right.
I mean, is it even like cool that he included her? Like, she's just gonna get more shit for being involved.
It's not cool.
And like,
on his
it's
behalf.
not. It's
he
totally,
knows what like this entails.
Okay, I had to include that because it's important to acknowledge they really don't consider her anything but an orbiter, low IQ, smooth-brained, tolerant leftist who's just anti-Israel and pro-Hamas, and too stupid to be anything else. As the two-time rising star of Twitch. That's well-deserved, isn't it now?
This part made me laugh because it was very tone-deaf, and he's acting like half of his content nuke wasn't about me.
Oh, I'm glad you watched it. Maybe you could pass on the other 50% then, since you're so important in that video, to Hassan, who the video is actually based on. You were mentioned quite a lot because you're one of his orbiters, his lieutenants, one of the heads of this rather weak T-Hydra. A brochurist, a bread... No, you're not quite bread tube, are you? No, you already ate that.
Half of the content nuke, the entire ending half, was about me. So if I'm so irrelevant and so uncool to include, why the f was I in your goddamn video?
So a couple points. First of all, if you're going to speak of Hassan, you may as well speak of the orbiters. You may as well do that, because they make up a lot of his opinions for him. Because Hassan doesn't have an original thought of his own unless it's contrarian and hipster. Second, God not real. And third, you are not as important as you think you are, and if you were, you would have garnered more, let's say, growth from it. For somebody who was considered a rising star, and I mentioned it on purpose earlier, you've achieved very little. You are only relevant when Hassan is around. You're not relevant at any other point. Ethan mentioning you made sense to point out just how corrupted Hassan has become when there are idiots like you around him.
like Hassan can handle it, but like Frogan's now just going to get a pile of shit on top of her that I have no control over because people are watching. Millions of people are watching his video, by the way, and they're reacting to it. And they're not having good reactions
Not
to it.
just our audience.
Far from our own, bro, yeah.
I think it's funny that you think me being in the iDubbbz video is what's going to cause this harassment.
Based on the like to dislike, I'm inclined to believe that it will lead to more criticism coming your way, like this video. You thinking you can spin this with mental gymnastics is amusing, quaint, cute, gauche, trite, unoriginal, but let's face it, the majority of the criticism comes because the video sucked ass, something I'm sure you're all too familiar with.
When in reality, it's you, Ethan. You're acting like you haven't spent the last year and a half doing everything in your power to push people to bully and harass me, including weaponizing propaganda organizations such as the ADL to get me banned off Twitch because I made a joke about you not being able to say Habibi.
Based on how Twitch is operated and how crappy your little ban was that you received, I don't think that was all that effective. The ADL are a joke organization. There are many things they think should be banned. You're not the only person impacted by that. I like you think everything you've received negativity-wise is Ethan's fault. I first heard of you because of some dumb tweets. Others like Destiny, who I won't show clips of, he had commented on you. In fact, I think Drama Alert had as well. Many of the commentary channels had, and they didn't use Ethan to do it. They saw the clips because of Hassan. If you want to blame anyone for the negativity you receive, blame your overlord. Although, based on how you reacted to being in his office, man, you went fangirl. You don't spend much time around people, do you? You can tell, by the way, when someone nervously laughs around a group of people they think are cool because they're finally in with them. How tragic your life is. I swear you're just another Foodie Beauty ripoff.
But no, it's iDubbbz, one of the only major creators besides Hassan who has actually defended me publicly in the last few months.
Firstly, as far as creators go, Hassan's only really big on Twitch. He does have a YouTube channel, and rather amusingly, the thumbnails have more expression in than his actual videos themselves, which are just clips from live streams. iDubbbz Content Cop is the only video to have got a lot of views on iDubbbz's channel in years, because iDubbbz has been going down since Creator Clash. Well, slightly before the first one, I think, and the views went with it. So is iDubbbz a major creator either? Not really. All the criticism you're getting now is well deserved. It doesn't matter how many people criticize you. If you want to call it harassment, you call it whatever you like. The fact remains, everyone is allowed to call you out for your bad takes, and I'll call out every single one of them. Why? Because you hate the American people, you hate Israel, you hate Jewish people as a whole, to be honest. You can say otherwise, but everything you've done is exactly proving the point that you are everything what I've called you. See how I don't have to defend Ethan here? Because Ethan isn't trying to attack you in this video that you've shown clips of. Ethan pities you because Ethan thinks you're stupid. And this video you've released is just backing him up.
This next section is about the double standards of Ethan's thinking. Let's get started with this clip.
Personally, though, and I've seen Hassan do this before, is he's accused me of it. He goes, "Oh, you just hate Muslims." It's like, bro, can you actually please just respond to a real argument? Like, please, bro. You know, he just, like, you can't just sweep everything away by saying that. It's just not right. Are people very cruel to her? Yeah, for sure. You know, it's just, I don't know, man.
I will agree, there are some people who do go too far when it comes to criticizing Frogan. 100%. But that's only based on the standard I set, where I will criticize directly points that Frogan makes. Others go on the personal attack. They go on the side of, oh, she's fat, she's short, she's Muslim, she only wears a hijab for, and then insert reasons here. They go on the attack for physical attributes, none of which I care about because I didn't realize Frogan was human. Was that too callous? Okay, cool. The things that annoy me the most about Frogan are what comes out of Frogan's mouth as opposed to the copious amounts of whatever goes in. So hearing the response you're about to hear is amusing because it's going to be from very selective interpretation. It really is going to be very selective.
I don't know how to explain this to you, Ethan, because this is something you claim all the time, but some people are actually racist. Ethan claims people are mean to him all the time because they're racist, using his religion as a shield to criticism, as he claims people are doing to me. A lot of the comments I get are about me being a hijabi and me being Muslim, so no. People are not more charitable to me because I wear the hijab, and I wish that was the case.
Cool story, bro. Did you notice, though, with Ethan's clip, he'd actually asked Hassan to address something directly, and instead Hassan had projected. You did just the same thing there. So this is the problem with a lot of you, I'm going to call you the tolerant left again. Yes. You don't focus on the issue. Your ADD kicks in. You go, oh no, let's talk about this instead. Let me shift the goalpost. Let me go reductio ad absurdum. I have no doubt in my mind that Ethan has from time to time used his faith as a reason to not take criticism. No doubt in my mind. Not going to ignore that. You've not actually proven it, just to be clear. You've not also debunked him either. This video response is dog shit because you're not actually doing anything you're asserting. And here I was thinking you put some effort into this, because I'm sure as hell not going to do it for you.
I have never, they accuse me of doing it. They go, oh, Ethan's just targeting Arab and Muslim creators. It's like, I have never one time mentioned her hijabi or brought anyone's identity into my criticism of them.
You haven't said anything about me being Muslim directly, but your ideas about Muslims are pretty obvious from what you say. Here are a few of many examples.
Oh, this is going to be my favourite bit, isn't it? Because it's going to be a cherry pick, quote mine. It's going to be out of context. Oh, I'm so excited. This is my favourite, by the way, because you've just admitted he's not said anything directly. Now you're going to go with the indirect and infer from it. It doesn't matter what he says as long as you're able to use something out of context to frame him a way that makes you seem like your opinions are reinforced. Okay, that's cute.
Why don't you just make it easier? Why don't you just fly to ISIS and do them a favor and just let them, you know, just serve yourself on a platter for them because you deserve it. Like, I think per capita, a lot of the weird in terrorism and crimes and shit, I mean, There's definitely some strong thread of violence through the Muslim community, or Arab Muslims to be more specific.
Oh, look at that, you proved me right. You've 100% proved me right. Because the first clip is completely out of context. We don't know what caused that comment in the first place. The second are tweets aimed at somebody who has been nothing but a hell to Ethan. And the game, I can't justify that. The third one, again, out of context, an earlier Hate Street podcast episode, but also not wrong. In fact, the Office of National Statistics in my country would back it. I wish you hadn't done this, because you really are proving his point that you're just stupid.
The next thing I want to bring up are the double standards both Ethan and Gila have for themselves. Let's get started with this clip.
We misspoke. It didn't sound good. We immediately corrected ourselves. You know, that's how mature people do. That's how how you're supposed to handle yourself, isn't it? Like, what more do you want me to do?
I have no problem apologizing and admitting and whatever is needed when things happen.
This was in response to people bringing up how Gila said Yoav Gallant was a great guy, even though he's literally a war criminal and pro-genocide. I'm a live streamer as well. I know being live for hours and hours on end, you can misspeak, and that is exactly what happened whenever I said the thing about the US military.
There is a clip of Destiny, and I really don't want to play it, where he proves the point about you and this comment of misspeaking when it came to the military. It really is a useful clip though, but I can't play it. So instead I'll paraphrase what Destiny says. Essentially, he says, and I agree, you tripled down on it. You never took it back, and also you said whenever I said. You can't even remember when you said it. You just know the clip will never die down. It's always going to be there and thrown at you. He also pointed out that when you had a chance to take it back, you didn't, which he mentions as the triple down. At least twice beforehand. You never took it back, you got banned temporarily, so suspended. It didn't impact you. It may have slightly because of election season, but only because you'd gone so extreme left, you had forgotten where your values actually reside. You'd lost civility, you lost the argument, and you were punished for it. The internet is the punishment. You will forever have to deal with this as a consequence because of your anti-American interpretations. Others that shared this similar opinion, like Mia Khalifa, yeah, you guys deserve this. 100%. You can hide behind whichever victim card you want to hide behind, but reality cares little for what you think is a shield.
I said it in a way in which I didn't mean, and I also clarified it on Twitter by saying, the US military has conducted some of the most horrific crimes against humanity in the modern era in countries such as Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, Lebanon, and Palestine.
Yeah, I'm not going to let you read this one and get away with it, because this is you doubling down. Like, straight up. The only thing you admit is that wishing harm isn't the best way to talk about issues. You didn't apologize for the comments. You doubled down on it by calling the US military this. Right. You really are an idiot. You have to be an idiot. You've been huffing your farts for too long. Do you live in San Francisco or something? Because you have to be inhaling flatulence. Maybe some fentanyl as well. To be this stupid.
And like I said initially, I'm not granted that charitability at all.
This is why there's a level of reluctance from Ethan to fully go in on you. Because you will play victim, which is fine, but you're also, to him, he's punching down. You mentioned the content nuke because you are relevant to the source material. You're a key part of that particular cog. And that would be the Nepo child, terrible gamer, Hassan Piker, who hates literally everyone, but tries to act like he's cool. Alright. You look like that guy, Hassan, that walks through a crowd. Yeah, you look like that dude, and I'm pretty sure you'd stink just as much as him as well.
I want to explain it because people bring it up non-stop. I apologize for it right away. When Ethan made a video to address this on his Ethan Klein channel,
Next day, I think
made a quick appearance in that video just to say, I'm sorry, I misspoke. I shouldn't have called him a really good guy. Like, I don't know why I said it like that.
What more do you want from me? I did the same exact thing.
No, you didn't. You put out a tweet, you insulted the very thing you insulted already, and then you said, in hindsight, maybe I shouldn't have been so rude. But you did it in words, not verbally. This is a big difference. Sincerity comes from presence. You had a YouTube channel, you didn't really use it much. You could have made a video and simply put it there. Simply said, I am sorry for what I said about the US military. You shouldn't have immediately added anything else, just that. But you don't care enough, and that's a problem. This is not the same thing. Don't try and equate the two. There is more to Frogan's video, but I have a sneaky feeling I don't have enough time in this day to go through it. It's mental gymnastics failure 101, and that is Frogan's career, propped up by too many people who don't realise they are only propping up somebody who's too stupid to amount to anything else. Frogan is a living example of getting far in life doesn't come from being good at what you do. What you do? No, don't be silly. It's who you know, who you defend, what side of history you choose to be on, even if it's the wrong one, solely to be angry at the wrong people, which is, let's face it, tragic.
But that being said, like, regarding Frogan being like, she's not that bad or whatever it is. I don't want to put words in your guys' mouth. You were all ingredients that she's like.
No. Our point was that she doesn't need to be attacked for her looks, and like she's just dogpiled.
Yeah.
I was just like, dude, I don't know, because like, listen, I think she's a disgusting human being. I despise her, and I don't really want to give her any benefit of the doubt, especially at this point. The other Jewish person I know in here, I mean, Zach, I know your opinion about her. You don't have to say it, but you can.
Oh, I think she's a vile piece of human being.
Yeah, and so I mean, I'm just saying, like.